Hello, everybody. Welcome to FitPath Podcast. My name is Max, and I'm here today with Ali. Welcome to FitPath Podcast, Ali. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. How are you, Max?
Thanks for coming and accepting the invite.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Can you please give us a quick introduction of yourself?
Okay, so my name is Ali, obviously, as Max has stated. I'm 21 years old. I've been in fitness industry or kind of working out for the last 4 or 5 years. I've skated around with cardio, I guess muscle building, strength training. So I've kind of been around the whole fitness journey. It's been quite a wonderful journey. I've had many different body types. I have a very slow metabolism, so I jump around weights pretty easily. I was once a fat little kid at 17, 16 years old. I used to get bullied, and then I got very skinny, gained a bit of muscle, I lost my fat as well. So quite a different journey. So it's been quite a wonderful 5 years.
That's absolutely awesome. And also you're founder of Breathease as well.
That's right. So during my fitness journey, I also had a few issues. You obviously have your injuries, you have your own genetic issues. One of them for me was my breathing. So my breathing was actually deteriorated, and as a kid growing up, I always had a blocked nose, which is why it led me to develop Breathease. So Breathease aims to actually help anyone like myself who has a deviated septum or any issues breathing through your nose, terrible sleep. Even when you're working out, you want to breathe through your nose, you come to Breathease. So that's
awesome. I was looking forward for this interview today. I met Ali in the Australia Fitness Expo, which was really great. I was really hesitant if this is going to work. So I said to him on the first day that, hey, I'm going to try this overnight. If it's going to work, then I'm going to come back with you with an offer, and I'm going to invite you for my podcast and we'll talk. So it worked, and it was really impressive. So we will talk about it. Let's put the Breathease aside. Let's talk about Ali himself. How was your fitness journey started? From what age?
Okay, so growing up, I was always playing a bit of football. So I was always in park soccer, playing around. I didn't take it too seriously. It was just a kid growing up playing his sports on the weekend. I would say my actual fitness journey started about 16, 17.
Okay.
So around the age where you start developing to your own character kind of thing. That's when I was very, very overweight. I was about 120 kilos.
Wow.
Yes.
120.
120. So and
Wow.
I was very, very fat. Yeah, so
I'm into this shape.
Yeah.
You deserve this.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so I was 120 kilos. I was just that kid that felt like my body was kind of a weakness. It was something that was brought up to me. Like, I knew I had a terrible body, but it didn't really click to me that I had a body like of this sense. I didn't see the importance of it till probably about 16, 17, where you start seeing people around you, like a bit older, and you see why people actually work out. So that's when I started actually losing weight. So I went from 120 kilos, which I made a very big mistake from the first year of training. I went from 120 kilos to 70 kilos. So it was a massive jump, which is very unheard of. The way I done it was by starving myself. So it was a very stupid idea.
Wow.
I used to starve myself, and I used to probably have about 800, 900 calories. Nothing. Probably as someone that used to eat probably 2,800, 3,000 calories.
Wow.
I went down to like 800. Probably eat one meal a day, very small meal, and I would just lose weight. Probably I would lose maybe a kilo or two per week because I wouldn't eat that much, and I'll just be hungry all the time. So I went to 70 kilos, and my body looked terrible. So it was just all loose skin. It was I was basically very skinny. I was a very low body fat percentage, but my body was just terrible. It just looked like it was loose skin, and I had nothing going on there. So that's when I jumped to the gym. So I was about 17 years old. That's when I realized, hey, now I went from fat. Now I'm too skinny. Let's get on some muscle.
Let's build the muscles.
That's it. So that's when I got into the gym about 17 years old. I was in year 12. That was my first year of training. I was signed up to the local gym. Got into the gym, and I was very weak, obviously. I still remember the barbell. Everyone starts off with the barbell shaking, and I used to do 5-6 reps of those barbell, and it just progressed from there. So I was very consistent. And the thing with me is, from that day on, I was very serious about my diet. So that's why within 2-3 years of training, my body kind of developed very well in comparison to people that I know that probably do train. They don't take their diet too seriously, which is fair enough. We're just young people. So you like to enjoy yourself. You like having the sweets. You like having that burger. For me, I kind of developed this mental state where if I do have a sweet or something that isn't good for me, I kind of have this guilt feeling after, and it's just the worst feeling ever. So now I kind of refrain from it and don't take it at all. So very rarely you catch me eating desserts or eating a burger. So yeah.
Wow, I'm quite impressed. I wasn't expecting to hear this
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
This
mate.
is phenomenal.
It is,
So,
yeah.
literally, so you dropped from 120 to 70, and then you started a gym at 17
It
years
is.
old.
It's insane.
Wow,
Yeah.
and you were in this shape,
That it's really funny
mate.
because
I still. I need to give it to you. I'm still getting my head wrapped around it, but wow,
Thank
that's
you.
amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing, and I can imagine like the confidence and the self esteem that built in yourself that from that age. That's phenomenal.
that's the thing I kind of push out there now, like with all my friends that probably don't train, which is completely fine. But I tell them, listen, like I was in that position at one stage. I used to, for example, walk around and know, like feel invisible kind of thing. So I know how it feels to be on that side of the spectrum, and I know how it feels to be on this side. Well, I'm not saying I have the perfect body, but I'm pretty confident in what I look like now, and I feel like I've put a lot of work into it, and to come to this shape, it's taken a lot of hard yards. So yeah.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
and to be honest, like it's not all about like the physics of the body, like
Absolutely,
what
yeah.
fitness literally does with your mental health,
It's
and also like
insane.
the building strength and the brain activity is just
yeah.
insane.
I tell people all the time, like, you don't really train to, like, get, initially you have the wrong reasons, like, oh, I want to look good. But eventually it comes to a point where your discipline kicks in, and it's more of like a mental state where you love that, like, it's like a drug kind of thing. You love that
Exactly.
feeling of you finish your gym, you're all pumped up, and you go home, have a nice meal. It's just the best feeling ever.
Exactly.
And that's when your motivation kind of gets out of the way and your discipline comes into place.
Exactly, and the other thing that is really it's phenomenal is like when you go into the gym, it's kind of like you also start to getting the other things fixed as well.
In life.
So I mean, so you care more about your diet, what you're eating, what you're taking in. You care about your sleep pattern, you care about your breathing, and everything around your health is kind of comes together.
So there's people always talk about a negative spiral. It's a very common thing that people talk about. So let's say someone loses his job, he starts drinking a lot, he loses his girlfriend. But there's also a thing called a positive spiral. So you can do one good thing, and at the same time, another good thing will fall into place. For example, you
Absolutely.
jump into the gym, you start seeing people, you start working around with people in the gym. You eventually get around people with like-minded people, like people that want to start a business. You start getting your diet in check. So it's a lot of things where, and then everything just starts going like up and up like this. So it's like a spiral. The same way something can go negatively down, it can go positively up. So
I mean, the
agree.
way that I look at it, I tell to myself, it's a domino effect,
That's
right?
it.
So you fix one thing, the other things will
Fall into
happen
place.
as well. Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
And one of the things that we were talking before, I think, started recording this interview was like the Australia Fitness Expo. That how was the vibe of that expo? Like the
Amazing.
people was amazing. Like everybody
Amazing, yeah.
came for a fitness, and fitness was the same thing that it kind of like get everyone connected to each other, and that was phenomenal.
Absolutely. Funny enough, that Fitness Expo was actually the first time me being there. And it was something that I was kind of 50-50 about, of actually expediting there. So, and then eventually now, so right after the event, in my head, I'm like, that was the best decision I've ever made.
That's
It
amazing.
was the best decision. So
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
All right. So I guess we come to the point that you said Ali is in his 17 years old. He started the journey. Probably by that time is like the 18, 19,
Yes.
and how he's in shape. So what happens next to Ali? So
Next, so 18, 19. So this is when I started getting this was around COVID time. So my body started coming into shape. I was kind of like that skinny, lean build. I was probably sitting around 80 kilos, 6'2". Didn't have abs or veins or anything, but just a standard build. I didn't look like someone that would really train. And the thing with me was I was very consistent. So I would continue training, and my diet was always in check. So 18, 19, 20, I'm 21 now. So the last 2-3 years, it's just been work, eat right, sleep right, train. And it's just been very consistent. It's very on, and I don't really have an off pattern. I did fall in through a couple of injuries. I had a shoulder dislocation, which turned me back quite a few months. I felt everything like lose away. It was probably about 3-4 months of not training. I ate right still in that event, which is kind of what held me the most muscle. Obviously, diet is the most important thing, I think, when it comes to
Absolutely.
training. So that was kind of a setback that I had, but kept going with it. And now at 21, I feel like I'm in the shape of my life, and I'm just going to keep proceeding forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that you feel like this guy is the limit.
That's it. Oh, that's it. And the thing is, for me, is I know that I can keep going. It's just once you see your progress year after year, it kind of is your self motivator anyway. So you see yourself from last year, like, damn, like I turned from that to that, and it's like, okay, now imagine where I can go. It's kind of like, it's like a business, for example. You set up a business, you get, let's say, you get a few customers, you kind of see where the next stage is, and you just keep going. Like, it's one of those things.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm very excited to having a chat with you. And like, look, you're
Likewise.
21 years old.
Yes.
With all this achievement that you have done in these 21 years. That's amazing. You got to be very proud of yourself.
I appreciate it very much.
Outside of being the founder of this business
Yeah.
and running this business, you're also project manager.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I'm currently still in uni, or I should graduate, hopefully, if I pass this last subject. So I've actually just finished a degree in project
Wow.
management at UTS. I've been working in the industry as well in construction for the past 4 years.
Wow.
So that's kind of my main occupation. On the side, obviously, I do my training. And this is kind of a business that I started behind the scenes as kind of like a side hustle, because it's something that I suffer with, and I realized, hey, like, surely there's other people out there that suffer with this issue. So that's what I do full time. I'm a project manager. I love the industry, and I love building new homes, and it's something that I think I'm going to stick around with.
That's
quite my life.
amazing. So, I mean, what is interesting for me is like you kind of like the building something, right? Whether it's homes or whether it's some help for the people, and that's amazing.
I love
And that's
building.
the spirit of the entrepreneurship.
That's it.
Let's talk about that. So, where the idea of this product came from?
Okay, so let me go back probably about around this time I started training. So I realized that every time, a blocked nose for me was normal. So it was something I would just walk around with. I would have my left nostril specifically, because my septum is actually deviated towards the left. My left nostril has always been blocked, and it's something that I'm like, okay, surely everyone has this. Eventually I started realizing that in my sleep, I'd wake up, probably around, this was 18, 19 years old, I'd wake up in my sleep having that very ugly, groggy taste in my mouth, and I would just like drool over my pillow, and I'll just feel like I had terrible sleep. So the idea stemmed from my sleep. So the first thing I realized I had a problem was my sleep was terrible. I used to have 8-9 hours of sleep, still feel like shit. I'd wake up in the morning, feel like, what the hell, like, how many hours did I sleep? And the reason being is that I'd wake up 3, 4, 5 times in the middle of my night because I had sleep apnea. So what I started doing is I realized that ugly, groggy taste in my mouth, and I'd wake up like feeling so fatigued. What I started doing was put the blanket on top of my mouth.
Wow.
Because I used to mouth breathe so much. So what I'll do is I'll literally deliberately, I remember I'd wrap my hand around the blanket, put it over my mouth like that, and just try to sleep. And if I wake up and it's successful, then happy days, I'll feel like a bit better. I wouldn't have that groggy taste.
Wow.
And if I didn't and I woke up with my mouth open, then whatever, like I couldn't hold it the whole time. So that's where I was kind of stemmed off that issue where I was mouth breathing all the time. And I'd see videos, and I would hate seeing it, because I'll see videos of me just walking around, and I'll literally just be standing around, even conscious talking, and I'll just be doing something natural. And a lot of people are like that, and we all know 1 or 2 people that walk around with their mouth open, and it's something that is, I guess, I wouldn't say it's an ugly look, but it's a bit of a unprofessional look. It's something that you don't see as appealing, and then naturally, the natural human, you would see them as their mouth closed, breathing through their nose. That's something that's a bit more professional, or more on the professional side. So once I realized that I had that issue, I kind of started tackling on the reason, like, hey, why is my nose blocked? That's probably the reason why I always open my mouth. So that's when I kind of started looking around for solutions. I stemmed across these other nasal strips from Amazon. I think they were called Breathease. So I tried these nasal strips out, which did help, but it wasn't the best solution. So I realized that it would flare out my nostrils, and I was like, hey, wait, this is something crazy. So it was something else. It was a very small strip. I think it was a pack of like 20 in there. It was about $40. I'd done it once, and I was like, wow, like, this is helpful, but I know I can. That's when it kind of stemmed the idea, hey, like, I can develop something myself and help myself out. So that's when I kind of came up. Well, Breathease wasn't even a business back then. I bought products for myself and designed them specifically for myself.
Wow.
So I done a bulk order with a manufacturer that I found, designed it specifically to myself, and basically that's when I developed my product for myself. Once I put it on, I was like, this is amazing. This is something that's so helpful. Like, and this was before I even tried it in my sleep. This is something I started playing indoor with my mates, playing football, or playing in the park, or even sitting at the laptop table, or just doing a bit of work. Put it on, and it just feels so much better. And then that's kind of when I found also the mouth tape, and I mixed them both in together. And I remember I was like, let me try a sleep with these products, and let's see how that feels, because I remember that what I'd always do was try to block my mouth. So I tried them on my sleep together, and I remember I used to wake up feeling like so much better. I used to brush my teeth before I used to go to sleep, and wake up feeling like, you know, that Colgate taste that you
Yeah.
have before you sleep. I used to have that waking up, and it was like what? Like, how weird is that? Like, usually I have like this ugly taste and go to the bathroom and spit it out. But now I can actually taste Colgate as I wake up in the morning. So it was such a sharp feeling. It's such a good feeling. And that's when I was like, hey, like, surely I knew a couple of friends of mine that had this issue. Surely I can help people out there with this issue. And a bunch of my friends bought from me, and that's when Breathease started as a company. I'm like, let's start something. And this is where I started Breathease.
Wow, that's amazing story.
Yeah.
That's amazing story. So basically, you found a problem and you want to fix that problem first for yourself, and then once you got a solution, then you thought about the community, and that's amazing. And before the interview, I kind of like to check on your website, and I saw that there were customers' feedback as well, which was pretty amazing, right? I just want to go through some of those ones because this is coming from the customers, and it's kind of interesting to see like what people are out there talking about it. So this is from Simon. He says, I've made a few orders now and won't ever stop using the Breathease product. I was a bit nervous at the first, as I've been a mouth breather for as long as I can remember, and I was very blocked up in my nose, most likely caused by a broken nose from my younger days. I now use the mouth tape and clear nose strips every night, and believe me, if you're thinking about it, stop. Don't hesitate. As honestly, my breathing, horrible taste in the mouth from the mouth breathing and poor sleep quality have all gone. Wow. What do you feel about this?
Dude, that's, to be honest, for me, that's very inspiring to read. And it's, for me, it's hearing people's stories like that and hearing feedback like that kind of pushes me to keep going, because it's something that I know I suffered with. And to hear that I've helped someone else out as well, it's like such a warm feeling inside of me that kind of motivates me to go to the next level.
I feel it's like your baby.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's Simon. Simon is basically one of my babies now. So
Oh, is he?
that's it.
So I see another one. So Jen, I recently tried these mouse strips to help with my snoring. And I have to say this product is life-changing. After struggling for years with the waking up feeling groggy and tired, even after 8+ hours of sleep, I finally found an easy solution in these little strips. I highly recommend giving them a try if you deal with the nasal breathing issue or snoring, which leaves you with the less oxygen in the morning and vertigo. This product delivers incredible results. That's amazing. There's a full of these comments
There's
here,
a lot of them.
and that's amazing.
There's a lot of them. And if you look at my Instagram DMs, it's probably even 10 times more. It's the people actually thanking us at Breathease, saying, thank you, you've changed my husband's life or changed my life. And it's such a warm feeling
That's
to have.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal. I mean, congrats, man.
No,
I mean,
thank
at
you.
this age of what you've done, which basically helped a lot of people, that's amazing. And one thing that really stand out for me when I first saw your product was it was quite simple for some complex problem. I think the breathing, snoring, oxygen, this stuff is a complex problem. But having this sort of solution, which is the other thing, this is like blow my mind, is like it's instantly you feel it. It's not something that you put there and you need to go through it for weeks and months until you see the result. You can feel the differences.
That's it. And the best thing about it, it's surgery free. It's such a big option where it's such a big problem where it's surgery free, chemical free, and it's just a sticker that you put on your nose. It kind of sounds like a gimmick.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do, like even my people that I've seen in the community that I know, like they say, does this actually work? And it's like, fair enough. Like I understand why they're asking, because for me, I'm a very cautious spender. I don't like buying things online.
Yeah.
So to hear them think it's a gimmick, it's fair enough. Like I completely understand. But it's one of those things where you really don't know what you're missing out on until you try it. And then once you try it, you're like, wow, this actually works. This is insane.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And it's like what you're doing here is like with the helping with the breathing. It's such an important things in not only for athletes or fitness, but also literally for everybody in your everyday life.
That's it. It's a lot of people, a lot of even I had the other day, I had a customer which was he works in aircons.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always in the ducts and when you're in the ducts for aircons, you're obviously breathing in a lot of dust.
Yeah.
So what he realized was because his nostrils would get clogged up, he would start mouth breathing and breathing in this dust into his mouth. Now, if you think about it, your nose has the actual hair follicles. Mm-hmm. It has your sinuses. Your mouth doesn't. Your mouth has nothing to kind of clean out the air. So if you breathe, let's say, dusty air through your nose, sure, it'll get clogged up. But your sinuses and hair follicles carry out all that waste and kind of get rid of it. Your mouth, however, doesn't. So if you're out there breathing through your mouth all this duct air, like how toxic is that for your lungs?
Exactly.
So I had this customer actually talk to me, and he was working in the aircon vents, and he's like, hey, I use this in the aircon. I just, like, my boss thinks he's just an apprentice. He's like, my boss thinks I'm a psycho, but I use this in the aircon vents, and it's like the best thing I've ever found. So it's stories like that. It's like, it's not just you're right. It's not just a fitness product. It's something that you can use almost anywhere.
Absolutely. Actually, this morning I was doing a little bit of research to understand the more about breathing. And this is what I came from. So it's improve your physical performance. So oxygen is the key part of building muscle. So literally delivering the oxygen to the muscles to recover and build the muscles for endurances, for strength and your performance and recovery. So that's why normally, like in fitness, we tell sleep is a big part of your recovery and building muscles process.
Absolutely.
So, which is obviously having a good amount of oxygen in your body would definitely help.
100%.
Enhance mental clarity and focus. That's another thing.
Massive.
It's a massive one.
That ugly feeling when you're just like that, and you don't feel that sharp mental like feeling. It's completely different. And even breathing through your nose, it kind of, if you go do the research, it actually fixes your posture. So if you realize a lot of football players like Cristiano Ronaldo, the way that he breathes when he's going for a penalty or any sort of free kick, he breathes in through his nose, outside his mouth. And the way that, what that does is actually fixes up his diaphragm of his body. And when it fixes up his diaphragm, it kind of it gets rid of any sense of anxiety or feeling, because you can easily belly breathe when you breathe through your mouth. When you're going on a run, when you're working out, you belly breathe, your posture goes down. It's quite easily. But when you breathe through your nose, your lungs expand, your diaphragm fixes up, and it's naturally your body just opens up.
And also there's hormones as well. Like when you breathe, normally in a meditation, they use breathing technique because it's just kind of to lower your cortisol levels and improve your calmness.
That's it.
So the other thing is like the better sleep quality. And I'm sure like no matter whether you are athlete or you're doing training or the ordinary person, you're not even around the gym, majority of people suffer from not having a good sleep, right? And it's not about the duration of the sleep. It's about the quality of the sleep, in my opinion.
Yes,
you might
absolutely.
sleep 8 hours, but you wake up tired.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. No, that's something that we kind of push out here as Breathease. So for myself as well, I used to have a lot of hours of sleep. I used to have 8-9 hours, but the sleep quality was terrible. I used to wake up 4 or 5 times in the middle of the night because of the way I'd sleep. I used to mouth breathe a lot, or I used to snore, I used to have sleep apnea, and these things deteriorated my sleep quality. And even though I would have the amount of hours of sleep, it just won't be the same. So that's why you need to make sure that your sleep is actually right, the way you sleep, the way you breathe, the pillow as well, all these things that you need to take into consideration, because they do affect your sleep and they do affect your recovery.
And the importance of the story is because it's 1/3 of your lifespan.
Is sleeping.
That's sleeping, right? So the same amount of the time you wake up and you're working, I mean, you also have the 1/3 of that 24 hours you sleep. So it's important to have to pay a lot of attention, because there's a lot of things happening. It's like if you want to stop aging, that's the solution. If you want to build muscle, that's the solution. If you want to calm your nervous system, that's the solution.
That's right.
Stress reduction and emotional balance, that's the solution.
That's it. And one of the things that is very important as well, as athletes like you and I, we look at cardiovascular endurance. So and for me, that is the most underrated thing that Breathease actually promotes. So a lot of people, they go on runs or even training in the gym, they probably mouth breathe and think that it's normal. But if you actually think about it, your sinuses actually release red blood cells. Red blood cells are used to do what? They carry oxygen around to your muscles. So if you think about it, if you're mouth breathing in your run, you're not getting as much red blood cell production as if you were breathing through your nose, going through your sinuses. Wow. So it's one of those things that is very under-researched, and it's actually coming out like now through the recent times. A lot of people are doing their research now, and it's coming out that breathing through your nose and going through your sinuses is a much healthier option. It's a much safer option, and at the same time, it's much more efficient than breathing through your mouth.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's see what we got here, right? So can we have a look at this?
Yes, absolutely.
Product? So what is this one?
Okay, so that is the mouth tape. So that is, for me, that is our Dark Knight product. That is, I would say, it has the least amount of sales. Not much people buy it because they think it's a silly idea. You just put it in your mouth and well, it's going to kill me, I'm going to die, etc.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't actually know that it's actually a breathable mouth tape. So it's made specifically for your mouth. People say, oh, why don't I just use duct tape or any other sticky tape? Which, fair enough, right? But once you take the duct tape off, once your mouth is ripped off, you can't really say nothing. So this mouth tape is made for sleep specifically. And a lot of times, people use it in their workouts as well. So sometimes if you're going on runs, you want to stop yourself from breathing through your mouth, you just stick it on. You obviously can't talk, but you force yourself to breathe through your nose. There's a lot of athletes. I'm not sure if you've seen Brian Ortega. So Brian Ortega is a famous UFC fighter. He almost got Alex Volkanovski in that choke. So Brian Ortega actually mouth tapes in his training sessions. So if you go, so every training session, he whacks on a mouth tape and does all his cardio. So for fighters, obviously they want to keep their mouth shut because if their mouth is open, boom, they're gone. So
that's right.
It's very important for fighters. If you go look at Israel Adesanya, you look at all these top tier fighters, the way that they fight is mouth closed, jaw clenched. And it's very important to breathe through the nose. So this is kind of something that teaches you, kind of gives you that subconscious idea to breathe through your nose. And it's a very helpful product. And for me, very underrated.
That's amazing. And it comes with the 1 month supply?
1 month. So it's deemed as one product per day. So 1 month, so 30 pack. That sells for $23.99 just for the pack itself.
Okay.
Which is about 80 cents per mouth tape.
All right. What about this one? So this is the nasal strips?
Clear nasal strips. So we have two types of nasal strips. We have the black, which is the one I got on my nose. And then we also have the clear. So people that don't want to be seen out here with a nasal strip like I have and really want to show people that they're wearing a nasal strip, they can buy the clear. And then the black, they all both kind of do the same thing. These kind of have a flexible band in the middle of it. So there's a band in the middle of it and you stick it onto the cartilage part of your nose. Flares out your nostrils, make it much easier for you to breathe. So if you have any congestion, or you have septum, whatever it is, gives that little extra tight space in between, making it much easier for you to breathe.
Absolutely. What about that one? What is that one?
So this right here is our bestseller. These are our nasal dilators. So the nasal dilators actually work in a way where you put two magnet tabs on the outside of your nose, basically like two sticky magnet tabs, and then there is actually a dilator set in the middle. So that band in the middle. So the actual band sticks onto the magnets and flares out your nostrils like crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so this is our viral product. So this is the product that actually made us get out there more. So the strips kind of people think of as a gimmick, but these are very obvious. So you can kind of see, there's many videos out there that we've posted where people put the magnet tabs on their nose, put it on the nostrils, and it literally just flares it out. So this is our bestseller. Yeah, this is our bestseller, and it's something that I'd say is very, very underrated. You can use it almost anywhere. You just put it on, and a lot of athletes are starting to use it now. So yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. So how people can get access to these products?
Yes, so we currently are a online store. We have a couple of pharmacies in Western Sydney that sell them. One of the main ones that we are working with is Chemist Warehouse. So hopefully very soon we're trying to get into Chemist Warehouse, and once we get into Chemist Warehouse, that's 600 stores Australian wide that we can get into. We are also talking to Nutrition Warehouse, which we might supply as well. So for now, you can only get them online, and there's a lot of shipping discounts. So if your order's over $49.99, you get free shipping. But that's the main way that we sell right now online. It was hopefully going in store very soon.
That's amazing. And I'm assuming like you're on social as well. So if anyone wants to get the feedback, not from you, but from your customers who are using this, they can look into your website and also your socials as well.
Absolutely. That's right.
So what are your socials if someone wants to?
It's just Breathease AU. So it's whatever's on the logo there, Breathease, and then just AU at the end.
That's amazing. Amazing. So can you tell me a little bit of any specific success stories or case studies that you came across?
So the biggest for me is I reach out to a lot of athletes. So that's the thing that we do at Breathease. And one thing we have a deal with every athlete is we don't want to work with anyone unless they love our product. And it's something I'm a very big advocate for, because if I think something is bullshit, I don't want to kind of push it no matter what I'm paying for.
I like it.
That's it. So kind of we have this message to every athlete that reaches out to us or we reach out to them is that, hey, try our products, see how you go. I want it for a week. If you love it, come back to us and we'll work together. So that's what I've tried with a lot of NRI athletes. We've had boxers as well. We have Jake Matthews from the UFC as well. He absolutely loves our products. So a lot of fighters and famous influencers or fighters or athletes, they actually like our products. And it's one of those things that they've told me. I've heard a lot of success stories. So specifically for one example would be James Tedesco. So James Tedesco is someone that we're in discussions with. He's a very big pusher of our product. He likes our product a lot. And I've seen a lot of these athletes who might give us a shout out or two. They always come back for more. So it's more of like, it's not just a one and done where, hey, I like your product, shout us out. It's, they message us again, hey, can we have more? Which is completely fine. And it's something that makes us kind of proud to even give to these athletes because they're such a high scale.
No, that's amazing. I like your attitude there in terms of, you said like you don't want to promote something, or you don't want someone to promote something that they don't believe in it, right?
That's right.
I'm also in the same opinion, right?
100%.
I do respect my audiences who just tune into this podcast. So that's why in the first go, I didn't want to promote this product.
Yeah.
And obviously, like there's no incentives here, so there's no paid promotion or anything like that. It's just the fact of I use this product myself, I test it, and I found it's useful, and then I invited Ali to have a chat with them.
It's a really funny story because I tell everyone the story about how I met Max.
Yeah,
so the way
go for it.
let's go. Okay. So the way I met Max was he came to our stand at the expo, and he basically, well, I wouldn't say question, but asked us, hey, does this product work? Obviously, backing my own product, I said yes. So he said that if I go to sleep tonight and I don't see any difference in my sleep, what are you going to do for me? I said, come back tomorrow and I'll pay you. I'll give it for free. Like I was like, whatever, I'll give it for free. And someone I was very confident in my product. I know that it changed my sleep. And Max actually showed me his sleep score on his, did you have a Whoop back then? Yeah. So Max actually had a Whoop on his wrist and he's like, this is my sleep score. I think it was varying around 50, 60%. And he's like, so you're telling me tomorrow it's going to jump up? I said, I'm so confident about it. So what happened was Max, I gave him samples of, I think
I actually used both of them. I used like the mouth tape as well as
and
the
nase strip. That's it. So I told him, use these two, try it out in one sleep, see how you go. So Max ended up coming on the Friday. That's when I first met him. And then on the Sunday, he came back. And the first thing so I seen Max and I remember in my head, I was like, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Let's see, he's going to tell me like your product's complete bullshit or does it work? He comes up to me and he just shakes my hand. He's like, your product works. And you pulled out your phone and shows me that his sleep score actually went from 50%, 60% all the way up to like 85, 90%. So it jumped up by like 25%, which is insane over just one sleep. So it's one of those things that in my head, I was like, it's such a funny story, but at the same time, it shows reliability. Yeah, it works. So with one sleep, it automatically changed his sleep. So that's why we have regular customers coming back to us. It's not a lot of, we don't have a really one and done customers. Usually they order once, they come back for more. So
and that's the thing. Like, I mean, when you're building something that is valuable and it really works, it's trying to resolve a problem. You don't necessarily the marketing force to get it out there. Like this product itself will talk to itself.
That's
exactly.
That's funny enough. You say that. I've actually spent $0 on. I've only just started spending on ads now. I've done $0 in ads in the last 7 months, and we've already built a clientele of almost 1,000 customers.
Wow,
so it's insane. It's kind of a word of mouth thing. So once someone else tries it, they tell their friend, and their friend tells another friend. So
that's
it's
amazing.
Quickly
that's
expanding.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell me about it. Like you're talking about a business. Let's start there. So, and you're the only founder of this product.
I'm the only founder, and it's something that I've kind of initially it was as I said before, it was a business that I started from an issue that I stemmed from. So it was kind of a personal connection to it, and then now we're at stages where we're reaching out to the biggest athletes in the world, and they actually are responding to us and want to work with us. An example would be Jeremy Doku from Manchester City. Not sure if you know of him. So it's crazy because these people are like, for me, like unreachable, but it's simple. It's one of those things where our social media is kind of like a prerequisite. They kind of see our Instagram and like, this is interesting, let me try it out. So we have Lewis Nunny as well. I'm not sure, ex-Manchester United player, yes. Billy Wingrove, F2 freestyler. We reached out to him. We're working with him as well. So all these big international, they're big international, the biggest, want to work with us, and it's something that they're like, wow, this is insane. So yeah, it's a big deal, and it's something that I see ourselves in the next year kind of expanding to a completely different market, expanding worldwide, hopefully. So that's the goal.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming I'm strongly believe like what you're talking about now and what you're proud of it is not something that came easily, right? You've done your hard yard. You've gone through the tough times as well, right? Tell me about those ones.
Yeah, so obviously this no business is always a success story initially. So you're always going to have your hurdles. You're going to have your issues. You're going to have your mistakes. And for me, I guess one of the recent ones was at the expo. So at the expo, when we had a set amount of products, obviously set out for the expo, what happened was we found ourselves by Saturday selling out by the morning. So we completely sold out because I don't know if you saw our stand was completely packed out.
Yeah.
So Saturday morning, I remember, so the expo for me, just to backtrack, was something that we really didn't see how it would go. We kind of thought it's going to be something that people are just going to get a bit of traction for. We're not going to get the ROI of it, which is fair enough. You just get a bit of attention and it's whatever. But what happened was by the Friday and Saturday morning, we realized that we actually had a line. We had the other expediters around us complaining, or I guess not really complaining, but giving us a bit of comments like, hey, there's people waiting outside your stand, come into our stand. Can you please so it was a big deal. And
what a good problem to have.
I know. And it was a supply chain issue, and that's something that I need to fix kind of for myself. So I think a lot of the recent customers, they haven't had their products in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's kind of a long wait to get their products, which is obviously my mistake. I didn't prepare enough products. That's one of the business's hurdles that I'm going through right now. We obviously got the new set of products, which is all brand new packaging, ready for distribution. So that was something that I've kind of went through and I'm obviously tackling on. But yeah, I think that mistake hopefully won't happen in the future.
Absolutely. And it's a learning, right, Kev?
That's it.
Right? As you move forward, you're learning the new things and how you expand your business, how you scale. Now you're kind of like going beyond your border here, right? You're talking to the athletes in the different countries, right? It's international people.
That's right. It's one of those things like who would have thought that I'll talk to Man City's one of their biggest stars, Jeremy Doku, or one of Cristiano Ronaldo's old teammates, Lewis Nani. Like that's for me that I never fathomed the idea before I even started that business. And you just go through it and take on these hurdles.
No, because the problem that you're trying to resolve is not only bound to this country, right?
That's it.
So this is the problem that literally everyone, doesn't matter where they live, they're dealing with it. And it's a big problem.
That's it.
There are lots of people, right, has problems with this snoring.
That's it.
Right? Let alone it's impact their relationship, right? So they impact the way that they go to the work, because if you're kind of like they're going to sleep and waking up tired and fatigued, right, you got to take that to your work, and it's kind of like it's
domino effect.
Exactly, domino effect, right?
Yeah,
so
that's it. Yeah.
So that's amazing. So where do you see yourself in, let's say, in a couple of years? Well, what is the vision? What you want to get?
For myself or for the business?
Both.
Okay. For myself, so obviously, as I said earlier, I'm still working in construction. Hopefully, I graduate this year. I see this business, to be honest, thinking about, like, every time I say, even to Samir himself or anyone I talk to say that this business has only been going on for 7 months is so insane to me. It's like
I
7
can't
months.
believe it.
7 months is like nothing. Like in 7 months from now, we'll be in like May next year. And it's kind of like, sometimes I think about it, it's like, it's stupid. It's like, how has it only been 7 months? And it kind of shows me that the sky's the limit for this business. I can go international, I can go in store, I can work with big athletes. And it's one of those things where, to be honest, 5 years from now, I'll see this being in every Australian store, hopefully. And obviously going international, having massive brand deals with the biggest stars. And I want to build kind of like a family. And the thing is about this product, it's more of like a subscription-based product. It's not really something that you're one and done with. So my aim is to obviously have this product help as much people as I can. And while doing so, obviously build my own personal brand as Ali, as the guy that helped out people with shit sleep or feeling terrible or can't afford that surgery that they want to do for their nose. It's one of those things I want to tackle on the issue. So that's what I see myself 5 years from now.
That's amazing.
We'll see where we take it.
That's amazing. So, I mean, the other thing you mentioned, obviously, like I can see like the people reaching out to you with their feedback, and you said your DMs as well. I'm assuming you're also listening to the feedback as well, right? So
absolutely, yeah.
Is this something that you kind of like to take on board, those feedbacks, understanding the requirement and trying to build something that really caters for...
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, it's you can never get it right the first time. And it's one of those things you got to hear to your audience. You got to listen to them. You got to see what's going right, what's going wrong. You can't be stubborn enough to think that I know it all. Because at the end of the day, I might have a different experience. You might have a different experience. And someone else might have a different experience. My job is to mix up all our experiences together and make something that caters to all people. So absolutely, I've already heard a couple of items. Like, for example, can you make a bigger bundle? Can you make something that's more cost effective? Can you make a subscription base, which is something we just introduced? So now you can
Wow.
subscribe to us and get free shipping, 10% off, and get your products monthly. So it's one of those things that you have to take on board as a business owner. So absolutely, 100%. You have to listen to your audience, or else you're going to lose your audience.
Absolutely. That's amazing. That's the key things, right? So are there any upcoming innovation or project that you would be able to share with us?
Innovation in terms of the products?
Yep.
Yeah, so currently, well, I guess the next thing that we're going to work on is sponsorships with bigger athletes. So the thing about us is that we know that there's a lot of athletes out there that actually have other alternatives to fix this issue. So, for example, we have the Real Madrid team. The Real Madrid team, I don't know if you guys have noticed, actually have Fix. So Fix the spread, the one that opens up your airways. What they do is before every game, every player has to wipe Fix around their shirt.
Right.
And the reason being is that when they're in their game and if they get any congestion, they just sniff it a bit and it kind of gets rid of that congestion.
Yeah.
If you actually didn't know, Ronaldo, Neymar, the biggest athletes in the world, used to wear nasal strips when they were younger. But obviously due to recent times, due to copyright, due to their personal image, they had to take it off. So it's one of those things that I know people are kind of hovering around. I know it's an issue that everyone knows exists. My job now is to kind of innovate and make it normal or a standard to wear these nasal strips. Because a lot of people, they think about like, oh, what's this guy wearing on his nose kind of thing. That's when you got to think in your head, like, you got to teach everyone what it does. And it kind of becomes like a viral thing where everyone knows that nasal strip helps him do this, helps him do that. So that's my job next. Obviously, bigger partnerships, working with bigger athletes, and hopefully my job is to make this product something that's not just your typical gimmick, which fair enough to all the audiences that think it is. For me, my job is to expand out there and make sure that I got the biggest athletes pushing the product as they use it in their daily life, at the same time teaching their audience what this product does and kind of having that prerequisite and that kind of the standard that this athlete backs it, yes, this works. So that's kind of the innovation that I want to go for. That's the approach that I'm kind of going for. So that's why I'm going for a lot of athletes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's an amazing, great story. So is there any inspiration or role model that you follow during your journey?
When it comes to the business, no. To be honest, this business was something that I've just taken on myself as and it's always been a learning curve. I've changed the packaging a couple of times. I've changed the website. There's a lot of things that you change as a business owner by myself.
Wow.
One thing for myself as Ali that has seen some as an inspiration was obviously the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest player of all time to me. Don't nod your head, please. So him for me is someone that came from nothing. And I love that story. I love the story from that not getting a handout and just working hard and putting in the work is, to me, just such a inspiring thing to think about. So you can be a nobody. You can be someone that doesn't have the best job or doesn't like their life or has a terrible body. But if you put the work in, you can get anywhere. If you put your mind to it, you kind of visualize it, you kind of see where you're going, you'll get there no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you can picture yourself in a different location, in a different state of mind, maybe driving that car or going to this location. It will happen. If you keep going, you have the discipline and you don't just rely on little motivation from Instagram. You have the discipline, no matter what happens, you will get there. And that's kind of, for me, is an inspiring thing to see Ronaldo, who came from nothing. It's pretty cliche, but someone that came from nothing get somewhere that is so far yet so close to him now. So
wow, that's amazing. So before I do have two questions, but the first question is, who is your favorite soccer team?
favorite soccer team, Manchester United.
Manchester United.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
Yes.
So the second question is how do you think your fitness journey helped to building this self-esteem that now you think you can tackle any problem, right?
Absolutely. So for me, for me, what I realized was from a young age, as I said earlier, I realized that having a nice body wasn't something, or working on yourself in terms of working out wasn't just for the body itself. It's more kind of a mindset. So if you look around right now, let's say you go out in public, you see someone with a nice, let's say he has a good, very, very good physique, automatically you kind of tend to respect him a little bit more because you know this person has put some hard yards into something he's built. You can't pay for a good body, or you can do steroids, but you can't really pay for it. You can't bribe anyone for it. It's just all determination and hard work. And that's something I quickly realized on. So for me, working out and having this self-esteem isn't just self-inflated. It's something that you have to put the hard yards in. And obviously, I'm not saying like be like someone that's stubborn or see yourself as different to everyone, but just have the confidence that you can help everyone around you get the same place as you. Because at the end of the day, it's very useful to society to have everyone train, everyone succeed, everyone work hard. It's something that helps out everyone. So
absolutely, and it's at everyone's disposal, right? It's just easy that you can get it, right? It's not something that you can't, like, even for the people who really, let's say, on the budget or anything like that, you can do calisthenics.
You can do whatever
you
can find a solution. That's the best thing about it. You can find a solution.
You can find a solution, absolutely. So if I ask you to, and this is a tough question, by the way.
Yeah.
If I ask you to tell me one word that kind of like to describe your journey, what would that one word be?
Tough question.
It is a tough question.
But the one word that came to my mind straight away was determination.
Determination. And why is that?
Determination is, as I said before, is if you're determined to do anything, you'll get there no matter what. You'll find a solution. You want to get a specific physique. You want to get a car. If you're determined to get there, no matter what way, or like, it's crazy. I didn't even I didn't even make this product. It was something that I used once as an 18, 19-year-old, and I started a business around it. And now I'm already talking to massive athletes. It's something you'll find a solution. So that's why I kind of like the word determination. Because if you're determined, you'll get there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a lesson, right? So I like how passionate you are when you're talking about this. Like, in this room, I can feel the vibe and energy that you have. And from my point of view, you're at the starting point. Like, there's a long way ahead of you. There's a lot of success stories, and I can't wait to hear that. So
that's awesome.
That's amazing. That's amazing to see. And I love that word as well that you choose. There's a lot of other words that you could have choose.
I know. That came straight to my mind the first second.
That's amazing. Do you read books as well?
Used to when I was younger, not anymore. I've read my typical like knowledge books, so ones that will teach you a skill about marketing, etc. But not really a book reader when it comes to other stories.
Do you have 3 books or movie or something that kind of like they inspire you, or you learn something out of those?
To be honest, I'm a very big YouTube watcher. So I like watching success stories. I don't know if you guys seen Manny Kosovan. So famous, he's famous Irani real estate developer in USA.
Okay.
So he's obviously someone that came from nothing. I just love that story of coming from nothing and turning into someone. No handouts, no family's help, nothing is, for me, is just it's a beautiful story.
Self-made.
It's a self-made. It's something so inspiring about it because you have to go through so many hurdles. You're not getting any handout, and it's something that inspires me a lot.
You had to embrace the pain.
That's it.
I mean, all those pains will pay off at some point.
That's it, and it's crazy. It's like one day he was just a regular person. He was someone that had nothing going on for himself, and then eventually kept going on and on and on, and became someone. So yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I can go for talking for hours and don't get tired. So because I truly enjoyed this conversation.
It's been an amazing talk.
I learned a few things from your journey, and that's amazing what you've came with. That's awesome. So, before wrapping this session, I just also wanted to take this opportunity and talk about the Movember. So I also put this here. Maybe I'll give it to you. Just put it on your back of your lip. Yeah. Let's talk about Movember. Yeah. There. Here we go. So this is predominantly about like the men's health and how important it is, right? So it doesn't matter about the men. It could be for women as well. But I just wanted to take this opportunity and remind ourselves that there's a stereotype with the men's that the men's need to be strong. The men's don't cry. The men's needs to take all the heavy lifting. But that's not the case. At the end of the day, irrespective of your gender, whether you're man or woman, you're a human being. And human being goes through the tough time and pressure. So if you're listening to this, maybe it's an opportunity to just message your mate. Just pick up the phone and have a chat with your mate, or just, hey, can we grab a beer or something and see what that person is going through. Sometimes having a phone call with the mate can make a lot of differences. So I guess for me, Movember is kind of like that message. So what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. I do agree. There is a massive stereotype that men should be strong, which I do agree with. However, I do think that a lot of times in that journey of becoming the man, you have a lot of struggles and hurdles. and you can have a lot of times where your mental capacity kind of takes over and won't be able to take on these hurdles, which is why it's very important to have a network of close people, family, friends, etc., that can kind of help you during that journey. And I do agree with what you said. Maybe a phone call, even someone that hasn't maybe talked to you in a while, check up on him. Maybe go have a little chat, go out with him. It could make the biggest difference. And a lot of times it's kind of like a cancer in the head. It's mental illnesses is something that just keeps growing and growing. And if you don't tackle it nice and early, it will take over your mind.
Absolutely. By the way, I like your stash as well.
You like it?
Thank you very much, Ali. It was lovely to having a chat with
pleasure.
you. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye.
That's
Everyone?
it. Absolutely. So for me,
Oh. That goes to the behind the scenes. So.
thank you
Cheers.
guys.
Bye. Man, you made it.
That's it.
That was amazing.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved it. I truly loved
That was,
the
that was a good chat.
conversation.
I actually reckon we could have gone on for another
Yeah.
like 2-3 hours, eh?
We could go.
I
Exactly.
swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
Nah, it was good. That was very good.
Yeah.
Better than the first podcast.
Yeah.
For sure. Because this one, there was like I felt like there was no like gaps or anything. I never felt in my head like blanked out
Yeah.
or anything. So,
No, I mean you're pretty spot on, and I can tell like the differences between like the people who are really smart and they're reactive to the question, because you don't know about this question. What could
What's
be the
gonna
next
come?
question?
That's
What
it.
is coming?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
having the answer straight away.
yeah.
It's
That's a good skill.
Yeah.
To yeah. No.
But
I
no.
was never like this, to be honest. It's with experience. You kind of
Yeah.
you learn how to talk and you kind of get that experience of knowing how to chat with people.
Yeah, no, that was brilliant, and
Max.
and to be honest, like it was a good story to learn about yourself as well, and it's kind of like the inspiring as well, like I mean, what you came with, and the pointers that you kind of like to mention that. You are interested in a self-made millionaires or people. That's another thing. I think that is something is driving you.
Absolutely.
And I don't know much about you, but I can definitely tell you, like when you go to sleep, I'm pretty sure you're looking forward to waking up,
Yeah.
because there's a passion there. You want to.
For me, I realized that the way I used to live was like a day will go by and it'll be like just another day, another
Yeah.
day. But I think
That's
in
a
the
different
last,
story now.
now it's each day is its own story.
Yeah.
It's like yesterday I might have met this guy or talked to him, or today I done this, and it makes life way more enjoyable when it's just always at 100 kilometers per hour.
Yeah,
And I love
absolutely.
it.
Look, there's a lot of good things I can see in your life. Like at least trust me, I'm twice the age of yours.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old.
Yeah.
But I mean, having someone at 21 years old with this confidence and with these things that he's doing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I
The only
appreciate
thing
it.
I would say, keep going. I can't wait you to just go from one high to another high.
That's amazing, and
Yeah.
I love your legend. I love
Cheers,
telling
man.
the story. Nah, thank
Yeah.
you. I
Cheers.
actually forgot one thing. I just realized.
Yeah.
I wanted you to get the product. That's what I was just remembering now.
Oh, yeah,
I wanted you to try it.
Yeah, you do it. Yeah.
Can we do it now?
We can do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
There's nothing has changed, so.
Yeah. No, it'll be like an organic reaction. Like it's
Yeah.
you just put it on. Do you want to try the dilator or do you want to try the nose strip?
Doesn't matter, whichever
Okay.
you think.
Let's do it.
Which one did you try at the expo?
I tried the nasal and also the mouth one.
Have you tried the dilator before?
No.
Try that one. That one.
You know what?
Really?
Let's try the dilator, and we'll do a thing where you can look at the camera, and then you can I'll put the magnets onto your nose, so I'll do it for you. But I have to be standing up.
Okay, you want me to stand up?
No, I'll have to be standing up.
Okay,
I can
you
go to you, but I don't know if you would want that. Do you want something that you just put in your nose, like you just like that, and yourself, or do you want to put it for you? Because
put it for me.
okay,
Yeah.
sweet. All right, done. So it's recording. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Okay, sweet.
yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Now we are going to have Max try out the viral nasal dilators, which is our best.
Excited.
You haven't tried this
Pretty
one. You
excited.
tried the
I
nasal
haven't
strip
tried
last
this
time.
one, yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So it comes with 5 dilators, as you can see, like that. So all different shapes of noses. You can use it for your girlfriend, your wife, your son. You guys can just buy a set and you can all share it. So that's the best thing about this. And they're reusable. So the actual dilator, it's not something you throw out. That's why it's our best seller.
Oh, okay.
Then it comes with the magnets just like this, which you just strip up open. Okay.
I'm pretty excited.
Let's put that in. This one we sold out on the first day.
Wow.
This one, everyone jumped on it because it was just, I had it on my nose. What I used to do in the beginning,
Yeah.
I used to get everyone to try it in like the first few hours, and I realized everyone was like lined up for it. I'm like, guys, no one's trying it anymore. You just have to buy it. All right. Let's maybe take a bit
Like this, yeah.
Should have dried your nose. There you go. That's one magnet.
Still nothing happened.
Nothing. Yep,
No.
not yet. Do you get any nose congestion usually?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's give you, I think, this pen. All right. Do you want to put your nose maybe face the camera and
Yeah.
face your head back, just so you can see the difference. All right. You ready?
Yeah. Wow! Far out! Oh my god! Wow, I can't believe it. Wow. Literally, it's just kind of like the opens, expands,
and
yeah.
you can play around with it, it won't fall off.
No.
You can. I have
Wow.
people wrestling with it. I have people fighting with it.
Wow. This is amazing.
Imagine now you had a blocked nose and you just flares it
Yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
exactly.
Crazy.
Like I do running as well.
That's it. Oh,
And
using your
this
arms
is
is so
exactly,
good.
yeah.
Oh, it's perfect. It's the best thing in running.
And so you can take it off.
You
as
can take it
well,
off. So the way you take it off is
Yep.
just maybe hold on to the magnet. Oh, wait, maybe just take the glasses.
Okay.
Just like that. And then
Wow.
easy. And then you can reuse this. And once you're done with those magnets, you can just throw them out.
Wow. And here we go. And that's why people are loving it.
That's it.
Because it's freaking works.
That's it.
Good man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Delegating so to get a little bit more time to you so that you
Tomorrow.
can think about
Other
like how
things.
you scale the business,
That's it. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because there's a potential to grow this
I know,
business.
I know.
There's a potential.
I know that's massive potential.
Yeah, there's a massive potential.
Yeah.
Not only for the money. Money will come. Like always, like the money is a byproduct of
That's it,
things,
yeah.
right? Do your passion, and the money will
Come
follow.
later on. That's
That-
it.
That's,
You're right.
that's
I love that.
look. I mean, to your point of the self-made, I'm one of those as well. Like
Nice.
I'm writing a book, like which will come by the end of this year.
Yeah, awesome.
I lost my dad when I was 3 years old,
Yeah.
so then
Sorry
it's
for
pretty
your
much my life was on my own, right? So from 14 years or 15 years, I started working myself,
Legend.
and kind of like and then move from one thing to another thing to another thing to another things until where I am now. Right?
That's freaking
And
awesome.
Look, there's a lots of ups and downs, but
Yeah.
it pays off.
That's
right?
it. I love
I
that.
never worked for the money, but I had the highest possible employment money that I could get. What our prime minister gets. Like,
Damn. Yeah.
seriously,
That's
$500,000
awesome.
for a year for an employee.
That's
It's
crazy.
not-
You can't get that. I know.
It's not
I
easy
know.
money,
I
right?
know.
So I mean, I easily got it. I didn't work for money again.
That's awesome.
So-
You just followed your passion, and wherever
Just
that
follow
got
the
you,
passion.
and that got you
Exactly,
somewhere.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man.
But one thing that I always wanted was I didn't really wanted to have like the mansions or anything like that. I always wanted to not seeing a day that I just open hands for the money for someone else. That was my
At the end of the day, all you want is freedom. No one really chases, or some people
Exactly.
chase the mansions and the cars, but what you want is freedom to do what
Exactly.
you want in your life.
exactly.
And this is probably something that I can tell you're very passionate about. That's
Oh,
even
okay.
when I met you, I was like, this is not a business for him. This is something he loves to do. So no,
Yeah.
that's what you want. That's the goal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's the thing, and
That's
and too, like you're right. I mean, the other thing I strongly believe is the karma, right, and the nature. Like it puts people in front of you in a right time and a right place.
Tell
That
me
is kind
about
of like to
I know.
take you to a different level.
It's crazy, and it
Just,
happens
you need to
so
embarrass it.
spontaneously, and
Yeah.
it just comes out of nowhere. It's crazy. It's
You
like
need to embrace it. So
that's it.
that happens. That
I know.
happens.
I know. That's
Yeah.
like, for me. Like, quite frankly, I said it in the podcast, but like talking to I play FIFA.
Yeah.
Talking to a FIFA card, like he's 84 rated. It's just crazy to me. Like when I was a kid, I used to play with these FIFA cards like it was nothing. Now I'm speaking to him on Instagram. It's like, what is going
That's
on?
amazing.
Like I remember I was I had this moment the other week. I was packing Jeremy Durka's order, and I was sitting there, and it said the address that it said to was Manchester City training ground, and I put the label, and I put it, and I just read, and I sat there for a second. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This parcel right here is going to Manchester City, probably the most successful team right now in the world.
Yeah.
And a player, one of the biggest players, is going to try my product. Like it's crazy to me. It's like, how is this happening? And even when I was doing Nani's order, I'm like this guy is like good friends with Cristiano Ronaldo, like the biggest athlete of all time.
Yeah.
And he's his good friend, and I'm shipping out product to him. It's like, what is going on?